What's up, guys? ALT Insider here, coming at you with a video here in response to Punchy's video entitled, what was it entitled? Speedrunning esports are probably not good. So you might have guessed that I had a few things to say about this as someone that is so into esports, speedrunning esports, and I really do see a future there. I have a few things to say about that. And yeah, a few things that were kind of, I don't agree with this at all. So thought it'd be good to talk about it. First, I want to say Punchy is an awesome guy. He was on my podcast 2 years ago and really strong opinions, really smart guy. He's a good person in the community for sure. You need people like this to drum up this discussion. These discussions are good. Even if people that disagree with each other, these discussions are good for any community, anything. So first off, I want to say that first. Punchy has some strong opinions and he really feels those. And I know he puts thought in his opinions for sure. So, and I do as well. So here we go. First things, let's go through the things I agree with Punchy here. He said putting money into a hobby changes the hobby. Definitely agree with that. Nothing to say about that. It can be good or bad. It all depends on your outlook. You know, how it affects how you enjoy the hobby, right? Next up, he said, esports is not interactive. You know, speedrunning esports are not interactive. That's definitely 100% true as well. If you're, Super Mario 64, if I'm playing, let's say I'm playing Punchy in Super Mario 64, and he gets a trick that I don't get, I'm behind now, and I have to kind of catch up. But I can't play differently to catch up. I have to just continue to play as solidly as I can and hope that he messes up in the future. So I agree that there is no interaction in most speedrunning esports. That's why I don't think, like I talked about in a podcast 2 years ago, that's why I think that's the biggest problem in speedrunning esports is that there is no depth of commentary in most esports, most of speedrunning esports, because it's like the commentating is commentating for the blind, right? Punchy hit that trick, cool. ALT Insider missed that glitch. See if he can catch up. Oh, wow. Punchy got that on the first try. Oh, ALT Insider got that on the third try. It's all you can do, right? However, before I get to that, I want to say there is sports, though, there's mainstream sports, huge sports that survive on that alone, right? So, I mean, golf, swimming, track. There are many sports in the world. I was going to say hundreds, because there might not be hundreds, but there's many sports that are extremely popular where there's no interactivity between the players, and they work. So I don't see why it can't work for speedrunning as well. I don't like those sports, though. So, I mean, I don't like swimming, golf, all those because of that. But I think what's more important than interactivity is strategy, okay? So what I mean by that is you can change how you play based on, how the game is going. I am heavily involved in Super Mario Maker 2 commentating because of this, right? That's really because of that, because of the strategy that I found in Super Mario Maker 2 is why I commentate for it, because I was so thirsty for it. It's like, wow, there's strategy here. It's beautiful. Like the first time I saw it, I was like, oh my God, there's some magic here. Like what is lacking in speedrunning esports is not interactivity, it's strategy, right? Changing how you play. Super Mario Maker 2, for those that don't know, there is very deep strategy. I mean, you could get deep with it in when to skip levels you get. The format basically is, let's say, a time limit of 15 minutes. Who can get clear the most randomized levels in those 15 minutes? And you have unlimited skips. Well, before next season. Next season, there'll be a cap on it. But last year, there's unlimited skips. So knowing when to skip turned out to be extremely different and was the difference between winning and losing very often. Of course, skill is the most important thing of who can beat the levels that they get to and who can beat them on the first try through. But knowing when to skip and not getting stuck in levels was huge. It was just really fun to watch. So I disagree with you that I agree with you that there is not a lot of interactivity in esports. There's none actually, but strategy is something that I think is more important, and we are starting to have that more. Okay, and Randomizer has that a little bit as well. So yeah, I think that's there. No interactivity. Agree. Don't think it's a huge deal as long as there's strategy involved, which hopefully we'll get more and more as the time goes on. The one I really wanted to talk about the most kind of is, you talked about pace and how it was a community-funded effort. I don't know how this was a community-funded effort. All the money was given by GSA, people and the sponsors. They had a few sponsors as well. And you talked about how it was a grift, how Fledervy, the kind of GSA made the community pay for Fledervy to get there. GSA had nothing to do with that. GSA, let me tell you what GSA did. They gave a stipend to all the people that were to get to pace. Of course, if you're living in Europe, maybe the stipend didn't help as much, but it still gave a stipend. Then Fledervy still couldn't make it, right? He can't go. TGH and that entire community banded together to do it themselves without GSA involvement at all. So how is that not just, a community trying to do something for one of its members? That seems pretty cool to me. Is Big John's like getting people to GDQ event, GDQ grifting as well? Because that's the same thing. It's Someone not involved with GDQ helping people get to GDQ. That is what happened at Pace. Someone not involved with GSA, TGH I think was the ringleader, but the whole community came together and got money for Flutterby to get there. So seems nothing but positive to me. I don't know how that could be GSA grifting, but maybe, I don't know if you did different information or what, but that's not there. Let's talk about money. To hammer home that point, you kept saying like, it's like the bubble's going to burst when people figure out they're getting screwed. Who's getting screwed here? Like, I don't know what you think about what you think, but GSA doesn't get a lot of subscriptions or donations or anything. It's 99% sponsors and money out of their own pockets. So I don't know who's getting screwed here. The random few people that give a few bucks or subscribe for $5 a month, because I don't know who can get screwed if no one's giving money, right? And even then, let's say people did donate for something they're people aren't stupid. I mean, there's a lot of stupid people, but when I donate $5 to a Punchy stream, I know I'm giving it to you to do whatever you want, right? It's my choice to give it to you, and you can do whatever you want, right? I don't think, wow, Punchy just brought himself a beer with that. I really got screwed here. I don't get that at all. Maybe you can elaborate on that one, because I don't get how the community is getting screwed. First of all, they're not giving a lot of money to GSA. I mean, I know that's the case. There's not a lot of money being given to GSA. So, but the little money they are, if I donate to GSA or I donate to TGH's kind of idea to give Flutterby to get to GSA and he gets to GSA, what? I mean, how can I get screwed in that situation, right? So just to reiterate there, I don't think the community is getting screwed by any of GSA's, things, because the few people that do give money are giving them to give to GSA to do what they want to do, right? I mean, I don't know how people can decide to think, oh, I'm getting screwed here. I don't get that. And again, if you think Big John's or events of the like, even a lot of streamers have like helped to get to GDQ donation goals. Is GDQ grifting? Is that GDQ grifting too? Because it's the same thing. I mean, GSA had no kind of Flutterby goal. It was TGH doing that. So I don't know, just a little bit different thinking there. The next thing I want to talk about, kind of my biggest point here, which is the kind of like, all right, I got to make a video because this one's too strong of an opinion for me. The idea of the glitch hoarding, of people hoarding that glitches to wait for the right moment to strike at a tournament. So let me talk about all the layers here of why I disagree on this one. First of all, like you smartly said, GSA eSports, Speedrunning eSports is like 5 games, 6 games max, right? That's where the real eSports is going to happen, right? Money's not coming into games, smaller games than that. So for those games, glitches are extremely rare, like exceedingly rare. I know you gave the example of Celeste, but that's kind of a different case because it's a new game that is completely sponsored by the developers, which is kind of rare. Like, I think if developers weren't, you also said there's no money. You also said there's no sponsorships, but then you said that the Celeste developers are sponsoring it. So you can't have one or the other. But the Celeste developers kind of are sponsoring that to kind of keep it in the esports world. I think if they weren't, it wouldn't be here. So I agree with you, though. They did find that kind of glitch, and it was patched out because of speedrunning. For me, that's not a big deal. I know you said it was a big deal for you, so I'm not saying that's not a valid opinion. Some people out there might think the same as you. For me, as just someone that enjoys watching it, like I enjoyed watching the tournament, I didn't care, right? And I think if esports is going to get anywhere, we have to get people that are watchers and not players, because there's not enough just players to enjoy. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, back to the point of the other ones. So the big 5, right? Let's say like Mario 64, Link to the Past, the biggest games of all. Let's see, what's another game you call it? Super Metroid, you get the Metroids, Zeldas, all the big 5, Glitches in those games are incredibly rare. So, for example, the one glitch that Siglembic showed off at PACE last year, the one where you jump off that pole, you got to push A million times or whatever, how good it's called. That trick saved like 3 seconds, 2 seconds maybe, I forget what it was, a second maybe. Like, glitches, if they're found now in those big games, are so rare, and even more rare is that they affect it in a big way. Right? Those games have been just destroyed in terms of study, and like people have used AI and stuff. Basically that's what we're at now, using AI to find the best routes to play games. So to find a glitch, to make this glitch hoarding thing a possibility, first you have to find the glitch, which I think is extremely rare. And if it does happen, it's going to be like for a second. Okay, so let's say I'm Jimmy B, and I've got a glitch that I want to show. to make that matter in a tournament setting, I have to already be a really, really high-level player of Mario 64. Not just like mid-level. To make a glitch matter, I have to be basically in the top 5. Meaning top 5 player in the world to make that matter. Because if I'm just a medium player and I break out this glitch that saves 5 seconds, that won't make me win. No way. Right? So I just don't see a world where that is going to, that situation, it has, so you're talking like this, I could literally say to people, it has to be Cheese, Simply, Punchy, who's someone else, the rest, D whatever. It has to be one of these people to really make, to find a glitch and then break it out at the right time to then win a single race, right? Because I know you said like it's going to change everything, but it's going to work for a single race. And then you know what happened? An entire community would work together to find out what just happened. Like, did you just see what happened? What did he just do? And that thing would be in everyone's knowledge, in everyone's mind, minutes after it happened online. And that's only after the chat and the whole entire community would like losing their shit because of a news thing that's shown on a tournament. You said that that would not be hype. I disagree 100% with that. That people would be talking about that. Like, wow, what was that? Right? Because I think people can, I know, again, this is, I think, a big, the cause of our difference of opinion is because I am not a speedrunner. I am a speedrun enjoyer, right? I am a enjoyer of watching speedruns. You are a speedrunner. So you can, I know that you say like sharing tax is a big part of speedrunning, and I definitely get that. But it's really just an issue of timing, right? So if people hoard glitches, which again, extremely rare happening, but let's say it did happen somehow, and Cheese had this great glitch that he waited and he broke it out in the community. So he's really just waiting for a better situation to show that glitch, and it still gets to the community. It's just timing, right? How fast it gets there, right? To me, that's not a big deal at all. And again, the layers of hypotheticals you have to get through. First off, you have to find a glitch that matters, which in the biggest games is once every 5 years a thing. Then you have to be a good enough player for that glitch time save to matter, which again, you have to be pretty fucking high on the leaderboards for that to matter. And then you have to break it out at the right time. And when is that, right? Is it round 16? Is it the second round? Is it the third round? Is it the finals? If it's the finals, you better be pretty fucking good to get there first. Because if you lose the chance to use it, then what? Right? So I agree with you that people might opt to glitch, to hoard glitches, right? It might be something cross people's minds. I think the positives are so incredible, right? That hype moment created is what speedrunning needs more of. Is where Kotaku could write an article like, speedrunner, Mario 64 speedrunner breaks that glitch in the middle of a tournament in finals and wins. Wow, right? I know, again, the difference of us, me and you, is you're a speedrunner and I'm a speedrun enjoyer. But I love those stories, right? Something to talk about, something that will leave people talking about it more than just, hey, these two guys played Mario 64 and one of them did faster than the other one, right? I think that'd be awesome. The thought of it. I wish it would happen. I just think it would never happen because, first of all, you have to find a glitch secretly. And remember, finding glitch secretly, it would take the biggest runners not doing it on stream, which is something they don't do, blah, blah, blah. It would just be very rare of a thing. And I know you could say like, hey, well, someone else might find it and then tell Cheese or Punchy about it, and then they might break it out. Okay, sure. But then you get an advantage for a single race. Again, a single race. It's worth it. It's worth it for that hype moment, I think. It just... I'm salivating at the thought of that actually happening, but I know it won't, so it's tough. Like, I wish I could see it happen, but it won't happen. And again, just to move past it, it won't happen. I want it to happen, but it won't happen because glitches in those top 5 games are so rare. And when they are found, it's literally for a half a second. And if you break out some different route for half a second, that's nothing. That's not going to win you the match. You know what I mean? Let's be smart about it. I know that's kind of a real straw man argument. I think people say like people will hoard glitches. How many glitches are found in Super Mario 64 and Link's Awakening, Link to the Past stuff? This is extremely rare, and it's just not going to happen. I wish it would happen. I'm spitting all fucking over myself. I wish it would happen, but it won't happen. Next up, cheating. Cheating happens no matter what. I know you might say people are more incentivized to cheat, but people have shown to be cheaters when there's nothing on the line at all in these world records, right? So, I mean, people are going to cheat. Does that mean you shouldn't do something because the threat of cheating is there? I don't think so. I think we need to find better ways to stop cheating. It'll probably still happen, but you do your best to stop it. You shouldn't stop something because there is a danger of people trying to take advantage of it. You know, all you can do is do your best to make sure people don't take advantage of it. You know, but it might happen. That's it. That's all I can say about that. You talked about ESA break the record like it was kind of, you kind of brushed it off like it was nothing. Again, this is one of those cases though where you said, hey, there's no sponsorships in speedrunning, but this is a $10,000 event that is purely by sponsors. So clearly sponsors are interested in some things. You know what I mean? Like it can't be one or the other. There is some sponsorships here for sure. $10,000 thing. I agree. It's not like it's kind of a cool idea. I want to see it come to life more. I don't want to have big thought about it yet. It seems pretty cool. I'll watch it. But we'll see. And again, you call this a grift, but how is this a grift? It's a $10,000 purely sponsored by sponsors thing. They pay for the runners to get there, and they do it. It's bringing attention to a community. Who's getting grifted here? The sponsors out of the money they want to give. I need some clarification on that one. If I know it's let's say I'm a player of Jaws on Nintendo, and I might say, man, Mario 64 gets all the attention, gets all the money. I wish we could do that. Yeah, it's cool to wish those things, but that's not life, right? Not everyone can get everything. That's how life works, right? There's more attention on Mario 64. There's more attention on those top games, and they get the money. I could try to play Mario 64 to get there, you know, and I maybe one day I'll get good enough, but I probably won't. But I still can enjoy it. I still can sit back and enjoy people playing a game. Like that's like watching the NFL and saying like, wow, they get all the money for playing NFL. Wow, I play soccer. Why can't I get a lot of money? I play beer league soccer. Why can't I get a lot of money? You know, I don't understand how that's a grift, especially when there's zero money from community, 100% money from sponsors. They're flying the runners out there to put on this event. Who's getting grifted here? Like you just kind of throwing out the word a little too much. You know what I mean? Because I don't see, you might not like that event. I agree. It's not my favorite. Like it's not my favorite for sure format of an event, but it's cool they're doing it. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't see what's bad about that. But to sum it up, I think eSports is a very good thing in all ways. It has a lot of kinks to work out. No doubt about that, right? We got to figure out the tournament, how to do tournaments, how long they should be. We should talk about what kind of games can get in there. And really, it's just about, the thought has to be to how to make it as exciting as possible for the viewing experience, right? Because that's where the future is, right? You have to have viewers. Of course, the players have to be happy, and that's something we're still working on as the community I'm involved with, Super Mario Maker 2 community. Some players dropped out because they didn't like the format. So there can't be too much of that, you know? So we got to find the right way to do things. But in the end, finding new ways to enjoy a hobby is only positive for me, I think. And it's such an optional way to enjoy something, right? So like, it's such if you're not into it, you don't have to do anything with it. And you can just enjoy it however you enjoy it. You don't have to stop playing Bubble Bobble, to get, grinding Bubble Bobble. That will never stop those players. It won't change their playing at all. You know, it just is another way to enjoy a hobby. And I think it will be a way for more viewers to enjoy the hobby. Like get more of people that don't speedrun but like watching it can enjoy this. So I think it's only a positive in that way. Are there some worries? Yes. Will there be cheating? Yes. There's cheating in normal speedrunning, you know. The strongest thing I don't agree with is the glitch hoarding. I think that would be hype. And again, like I said, it might be because you're a speedrunner and I'm a speedrun enjoyer, as I like to say, speedrun commentator. But I think that would be so hype if someone could bring up, first of all, they have to find a glitch that matters, which is extremely rare. But they have to break that out. Let's say they find a new way to kill Bowser. Let's say they find a new way to kill Bowser in Super Mario 64 with one throw. That would be the hypest thing ever. People would be like scrambling over themselves to figure out how to do it. The whole community would be like on fire for that. The whole speedrunning world would be on fire for that. Do you see what happened? That would get 1 million views. Easy. And in a world where we need more positive kind of content like that, isn't that just a positive thing? You know? But there you go. There's my rebuttal for Punchy with speedrunning speed sport. I think speedrunning esports has a big long future. I think it's going to be more of those kind of the strategy involved games. So I think Super Mario Maker 2 is a huge one. I think there can be new kind of randomizer type stuff is going to be the future. I don't think the future is in the in the kind of no interaction Mario 64 playing at the same time. I don't think there's a future there. I think it's cool. I just don't think it's the biggest. I think the Super Mario Maker 2 format, games like that, not just that game, but games like that really take it off. But yeah, love to hear what you think. This is just what I think about things. I definitely didn't put it as beautifully as Punchy did, but yeah, I had to get it out there for you and share what I thought. But thanks for watching, guys. See you later. Stay hype.